My least favorite thing is old men who go out of their way to date young bitches and then they get paranoid about the young bitches. Cause it's like, I don't know, sir. You know what the fuck you signed up for. Don't pretend you didn't. If 2 plus 2 is 4, and 5 plus 5 is 10, and if Johnny has 5 apples, then the grandmother's the baby. I'm just saying, it's so funny whenever I meet a dude who's like, oh yes, it's totally normal for me, a man in the 40s or 50s, to match with this girl in her early 20s. This is totally divine and natural. They go for it. And then they'll just be like, God, I'm scared. I'm scared and terrified she's going to be with me for her money. No offense, I think you should be more terrified if she wasn't using you for your money. Have you looked at yourself in the mirror? Or, okay, that sounds a little mean when I phrase it like that, but I'll put it like this instead. Usually it's like, okay, how do I phrase this in the nicest way possible? Think of it this way. Why wouldn't a young lady want a man who is financially stable? Who actually puts in an effort and does chivalrous, generous things. But I'm gonna say it, if you're doing less than the young niggas, why would she be with you? Because it's like, some of these old niggas forget that they're old niggas. It's like, congratulations, you're the new old niggas. Now, you have two options. You can either be the cool old niggas, where it's like, oh, hey, baby girl, yeah, I'm gonna get you flowers and do this and do that, and be a real gentleman to you naturally. Maybe even more so than you can get from the average young guy. Or you can be like the dudes I meet or have met, because they usually approach me, I don't approach them, where they're like fucking 70 and then they're so fucking old that they've forgotten they've asked me out and been rejected like 5 goddamn times, or they're just really that stupid. Probably a mix of both. And then they're just like, you know what? You know what? We should go out for a nice whiskey. And I'll be like, oh, no, thank you. I'm not old enough to drink, even if that's not true. But even then, it's like, sometimes I'll say, I don't drink. Or, oh, how about a lunch instead? Because I don't like alcohol. And these niggas will look at you as if you're the most gold diggery bitch in the world. It's like, I don't know how to explain it, but men like that, you kind of, it's like you got left behind romantically in a generation where you were damn near guaranteed a woman. As fucked up as it is, it's like women didn't have bank accounts. Men were expected to pay for everything, and it also was convenient because everything cost like fucking a dime. Everything was 10 cents and 50 cents. Like, if you came out the other end where you're fucking 70 and you don't have a house and you don't have a job, or at least it's a well-paying job, you don't, and it's like you're still, it's like, nigga, you are not Flavor Flav. You are not Flavor Flav. Like, I don't know, it's the type of idiots who think Hugh Hefner got ladies because, ooh, women love a sexy older silver fox. No, it's because he was rich as fuck. Hugh Hefner had all the women because he was rich as fuck. Well, it's funny when if you meet like an older dude who does have money and then they act like they shouldn't be spending it. It's like, that's kind of the point of your existence, man. If she just wanted normal food, she would be with someone her own age. If she wanted good sex, she could get that from someone her own age. Why would she go for a man between the ages of like 40 to 70 or worse for sex? It's like, yeah, I've met old niggas who can eat ass. I have. But guess what? I also have met young niggas who can too. And then they also like open the fucking doors, get you jewelry, pay bills, you know? I'm just saying. Why would they want missionary with someone who has erectile dysfunction when the new young niggas, they eat ass, they don't give a fuck about queefing, they don't give a fuck about eating it on your period, and they even have piss kinks. And worse. But wait, there's more. It's like, simply put, it's like, yeah. It's like, why would I get my armpit licked by a 70-year-old or 50-year-old when I can get it licked by a nice, hot, young, spry 27-year-old? And it's funny because, I don't know, sometimes old men will ask me out. And then they'll try to be stingy in a way that the young niggas aren't. It's like, come on, dude. We all know you're not here looking for love because you're here on this date trying to convince me to talk about sex on the first date. But then now you want to get all panic attacky and shit. Ooh, like the second anything related to money comes up. Some of these old dudes, they match with me on Bumble. And then, funny enough, nothing will even happen. It could just be something like, one of their first questions they'll ask me is like, ooh, what's something on your bucket list that you want to do? And then I could answer like, ooh, I've always wanted to go to those racetracks in the city where you can like rent a supercar for a bit and just drive around the track for like an hour. That looks super fucking fun. I've always wanted to do that. or a helicopter ride. Those actually are pretty, like, that's something I really hope I can do this summer. And then I remember this old nigga tried to go out of his way to be like, oh, well, for me, a first date would be something like a simple coffee, but but I guess you just want to be a fucking gold digger or whatever. And I responded to him, I said, you do realize your question to me was not at all about a first date. It was about what was on my bucket list. And second of all, I didn't mention you in any of these plans. And third of all, I didn't say you would be paying for any of it. This is shit that I want to do for myself. But your projection is very telling and kind of pathetic. And then they usually throw a tantrum, but it's like, nigga, I don't know what you want me to say. I really don't like older men. I don't. Because it's like, how do I put this? It's like you came from the generations where you're supposed to like help provide and protect you for your family or for your woman, and you came out the other side single, and you're just like, I'm gonna wreak havoc on all these amazing women of the young generation. Like, why are you approaching Gen Z women? And you're just like, oh yes, I totally deserve this. Like, they want to know how it feels to kiss a nice young lady from the Gen Z era who has on Jolly Rancher fucking lip smacker. Or they'll approach a beautiful young lady wearing like just a face full of Dior and a neck full of diamonds. And they'll be like, yes, I deserve her just because she exists. Perfect. She should want me because I'm older and sophisticated and can teach her shit about the world. Buddy, you were there when the world was first invented and you still don't have anything to your name. You should fuck off, actually. I'm being really nice when I say this. I'm trying not to say you should get executed in public. I'm really trying not to say that, but it's like, wow, you know? Also, I don't know. It's just like, oh, I don't know. If I could rewind time to shit I tolerated when I was younger versus now, let me tell you. Not like I tolerated certain shit. I'm just saying some of these stories because I find them interesting. But it's very funny how it's like there are old dudes out here who are like, I'm gonna hit on this young fly lady and I'm gonna try to dangle over her head the potential that maybe one day, I will pay for her ticket to another country. Ooh, isn't that nice? But first, I want to have all the sexual antics ever. It's like, ew. Meanwhile, there's a nigga who's actually within a decent age range for like what's appropriate for you, and they'll be like, hell yeah, I'll get you that fancy opal necklace before we even have a second date. Hell yeah, I'll get you a ruby bracelet on the first date. Let's go to Lake Tahoe for the first date, actually. Let's have a blast. Let's ball out. Like, they really, like, young dudes are lit. I love young dudes. Shout out to the young men. I like the young men who are software engineers and data analysts and all that good shit, who are just like, I just got a bag and this girl is perfect and I'm still scared of women and I don't have that much audacity, but it's like, let me just ball out. I like men like that. Amen to men like that. It's just interesting how you'll have a dude who's like fucking 70 trying to allude that you're a gold digger because you don't want his nasty alcoholic breath and his liver spotted hands all over you at some dark, seedy bar where he can try to look cool to the same regulars that already see him there as you sit there, like, hoping your drink isn't fucking drugged by him. Like, those dudes will say you're a gold digger the whole time they're trying to fucking be cradle robbers and shit. They're trying to siphon your youth for the least amount of money possible and the least amount of investment, which is even more pathetic. It's like, nigga, you, like, come on now. It's even worse if a dude has resources to spare, in my opinion. And then, I don't know, meanwhile, it's like I have that date with that 22-year-old where it's like, yeah, ruby bracelet on the first date, a burlesque show, followed by a fancy Michelin star Thai spot, followed by matching sweaters, and an escape room, and this, and that. And we had a wonderful, exquisite time. I'm just fucking saying. Like, there are men younger than you as a lady who will fucking ball out on you just because they want to. Like, hell, like, Jesus Christ. It's like you could find someone in your own age to be horny and lustful for you, but at least they'll take you out to somewhere and they'll be like, hey, I'm gonna DoorDash us a shit ton of food from like fucking McDonald's or Chick-fil-A or whatever the fuck. And they'll get one of those big family sized meals so that you can pig out and dick out. And then what's an old nigga gonna do? Their dick won't work, and then they're also not even gonna fucking bother to pick up their phone because they don't know how to use it. And even if they do know how to use their phone, they can't read the text on the screen because they're old as fuck. And then on top of that, they will still try to say you're a gold digger if you want anything more than, like, I don't know, like a small like this, just picture. They will not get you shit. Just they don't want to. It's so funny. Old niggas will just come out the gate horny as fuck, no manners, no decorum, just vile. And it's so funny. They'll call you entitled whole time they just really, really, really want a nice hot young thing out of their race or in their race sometimes, and they just want to be assholes for the lowest price possible. Like I remember this one old nigga. I remember he worked at this thrift store in my area, in my city, and sometimes he would give me items for free or a little bit of pocket change here or there, but we never even kissed. We did was have conversations, and he was incredibly rude, incredibly arrogant, incredibly paranoid. And it's like, my nigga, you when we first met, you as a married man, you literally stalked me around the store, damn near huffing me, fucking shivering, like hyperventilating from how attracted you were to me. You were making a scene. I took your number because I just was like, what the fuck does this dude got going on? I didn't even know he was married at first. I just thought to myself, this nigga is fiending for some. Like, God, you should have seen it. It was vile. It's like, it felt like a sex crime was going down. It felt like he was going to come in his pants any goddamn second. And you want to know what happened? Eventually, this man, I remember, like, at some point, he, like, is like, ooh, stop by the shop today. I have something for you. He gives me $50, and he tries to use the tactic of, ooh, it was gonna be 100, but I figured the shop wouldn't let you break down $100 bill, so I decided to make it easy on you and give you 50. And I just thought to myself, what a fucking idiot. It's like, nigga, just give me 50. Don't try to act like you were, don't try to siphon credit for money that you didn't give to me. That, like, because it's like, we all know you weren't going to give me the $100. I really should have been like, oh, it's all right. Just cash at me the amount now. I can charge the rest to my card. But I remember I just thought to myself, I didn't even say shit. I just took the money. I barely even thanked him because I was like, I can't believe he thought that would work. It's like, we all know he was never going to give me the full 100. He just wanted to act like he was so he could, kind of like the way old men or men in general can kind of act like they'll do things like, ooh, if I like you enough, I'll take you to Lake Tahoe with me, da 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 da, like future faking bullshit. It's stupid. And I remember specifically the way this man, mind you, he's in his like 60s, damn near 70s. And he, with his little fucking nasty little tic tac looking teeth, he was like, huh, I bet you've never had a man give you that much money before, huh? And I was like, oh, no, if anything, I had a lot more than this. And he was like, really? And I was like, yeah. I told him all about this guy I knew who was like in his 30s, and he gave me up to like even $800 just to go on platonic dates with him. And he was like, like he really thought I was lying. He was waiting for the part where I was gonna say just kidding, but no, I was dead ass. I was like, yeah, this one guy. I remember we would meet up, and like the agreement was every time we met up for a simple dinner just to talk and have a conversation and maybe go to a movie, he would give me like $400. But then even then, he specifically kept extra hundreds in his wallet because he wanted to feel player, so that anytime he paid for dinner or snacks or whatever, he would get change and then slickly hand it to me like, oh, can you hold this for me? And then I would be able to, and he would let me keep it. It'd be like an extra gift for the evening just to be sweet. He was a very nice guy. And I remember the way that old ass fucking man was just appalled and hella embarrassed and furious and pissed as hell. He really was, he just was like, is she lying? No, she's not lying. What the fuck? It was, and it's like, yeah, bitch ass nigga, I hate to break it to you. Fuck you. Old niggas are not it. I'm just saying. Like, you could get with an old nigga and put on an overly friendly, overly conservative, and modest facade to try to keep his attention and stroke his ego as he tries to degrade yours and keeps trying to, like, cut corners and see how low he can go with what he can give you. And will act like you're a gold digger even if you were to ask for some, like, super, super cheap bullshit that costs less than, like, 20 fucking dollars. Like, mind you, nigga worked at a fucking thrift store. No, he managed the thrift store and he was giving me shit for free, but even then he would act like, oh, I got her like 50 bucks. Like, it's like, cool, you got me 50 bucks worth of shit. It's like you got me like one single ring, some fucked up slightly dirty heels, like that I still haven't worn to this day, mind you. And there was one other thing. Oh, and a leather bag that actually ended up just being pleather and wasn't good quality at all. Yay, I'm not gonna suck your dick over that. Plus, conversations with him were so embarrassing because he was just arrogant. He would just try to force himself to seem so interesting. and he was paranoid and all that. Like, I'll put it this way, even if he did, like, I could have liked him for his personality, but he didn't make himself likable, so he didn't even have that to work with. It's like, nigga, you already have your teeth shaven down because they're so fucking icky. You already are old as fuck and wrinkly, like a ball sack. You are, it's like the least you can do is be nice. The least you can do is be nice. But no, he wanted to be fucking rude. And then all he wanted to do was rant about his apparent interest in mild fetish for black women. Gross. He did rant to me though about how he used to get on boats. I mean, he used to work on yachts as a worker, and how he used to help smuggle cocaine from Colombia into America and party all night and fuck all night and make a lot of money that way. So, I mean, good for him. Those stories were interesting, but I don't know how, but he still found a way to make that shit like pulling teeth. Like, he was so fucking lame. Anyway, I remember when I was 18, there was this one older dude. I went on a date with him, and it was Valentine's Day. And I remember this woman came up to us at the table, and she was like, "Ooh, would the pretty lady like a rose?" And my old, fat, bald, old as fuck, ugly ass date, he looked at me with a smirk and he was like, "Would the lady like a rose?" And I said, "Oh, sure." And mind you, the rose was only $5, but this nigga just, his smirk drops hella fast, and he just snarls at me like this for like hella, like 3 seconds. And then, like, unbreaking eye contact, he hands the woman the $5 and then tosses me the rose with an eye roll. It's like, it's like, meanwhile, there's a young, like, mind you, just like a few months ago, I had a date with a young nigga, and we went to like a 10 times nicer, much more exclusive, fancy, sexy place. And we actually were like the same age, but or like one single year apart instead of like several generations apart, mind you. And that nigga showed up to the date with a huge fucking beautiful bouquet of red roses with sunflowers in them and baby's breath. It's like that. See, that's that real nigga shit. I'm just saying, like, holy fucking shit. I just find it funny that old niggas are so scared of being used for their money that they forgot that's kind of like the benefit is that if you are an ugly dude, or if you have a not working dick, or if you don't have manners, the money makes up for it. But then they want to be so paranoid, like, what the fuck? Ooh, what do you mean the supermodel who has a taste for the finer things in life might not actually like me for my non existent personality? It's like, nigga, you know what she. It's like you saw her profile, you saw her age. Like, come on now. Come on now. I'm just saying, if you're so worried about that, then how about go for attractive women who are actually an appropriate age for you to get with, and you don't have to worry about that sort of thing. I had a date with a guy recently, and he complained about like this woman that he went, or a young girl, more like it. She was in her like barely even 20, and they went out to Bloomingdale's, and she was picking up. She was like, "Let's go into the mall. I want to get some skincare products." He was like, "Okay." She got a bunch of La Mer, and then guess what? He was like, "Ooh, I expected her to pay, but she looked at me like I was supposed to." And I just stared at him and said, "Well, did you?" And he said, "Well, yeah, of course." And it's like, yeah, exactly. Because why the fuck would. Do you really think that this young ass, spry, fit, plump, like perky girl would be like, I totally want a man who's pushing 50 with broken English and a fucked up accent, who's 5 foot, like 5 at best, with a pencil stash and greasy skin and fucked up little rat teeth and a receding hair? Like, simply put, it's like, come on now. Stop kidding yourself. Come on now. You wanted the hot social personality hire, and you got her. Your job is to give her the money. That's it. Some of these dudes also just want to be tricked, and I know that sounds fucked up, but I'll explain it like this. They don't want to be explicit. They want to live in the delusion that you like them for them. They really do. They don't want it to be too upfront, or else they'll be like, "Oh no, I got a gold digger." They want you to actually be like, "No, I truly like you for your personality, baby. I truly do. I adore you. Now stick your card in the machine and pay for this necklace that I just so happened to forgot my card at home." And they want situations like that. And then next thing you know, they're just building up to like that type of shit. It's weird. I don't know the psychology behind it. Fucking fuck if I know. I think a lot of it is pathetic. It's like, I don't know. It's like, it's already bad enough to be like, I want to use my money to take advantage of old girls. But you know what's even worse? Trying to take advantage of, I mean, to take advantage of young girls. And then what's even worse is being old as fuck and trying to take advantage of young girls, but then also trying to like do as little as possible for their lives. Like, holy shit. I like, let's not talk about the full story because it'll piss me off. Let's just say when I was 18, I remember this one dude. Ooh, he had a lot of nerve. He was trying to be like, no, I'm not going to call you a Lyft ride. It's too expensive. I can't afford it. Just meet me yourself. And I was like, it's going to be 3 buses and it's getting dark and it's cold. And it's like, I'm wearing heels. It's like I would have to walk down a hill, take 3 separate buses, and then walk for like fucking 30 minutes damn near along the fucking airport hangar by myself in the dark and the cold in this fast neighborhood. I don't feel comfortable doing that. And he kept trying to insist I should. And it's like, what would the prize have been? Like an old nigga who has a non working micro penis, no romantic bone in his body, no manners, disgusting, lustful as fuck. Like, no, no. I kept my ass at home. And he raged like shit. But guess what? Like I said, this passing Christmas, I was with a dude who was 29. And what's funny is he told me he was 28 because he thought that if I knew his actual age, I would see him as a predator. It's like, oh, buddy, you don't know the half of it. There's much worse people on this planet. There are men out there who are 70, seeing nothing wrong with trying to lowball an 18-year-old to tongue her asshole despite being 70. And simply put, it's like it's so funny. It's like I'm 24 now, and I'm meeting 29-year-olds who are like, "Oh my God, this age gap feels inappropriate." Oh, but I'll treat her nicely, and I'll get a hotel room for her. Hey, fuck it, I'll get it for the whole week. Anything she wants, I'm getting it because I'm just built like that, and they are raised right, and I like men like that. That shit is awesome. Oh, I don't know. And anytime I meet a young nigga who just is like so amazingly excellent, it makes me just like. And then I meet a yeah, like an old nigga with a lot of audacity. It just makes me want to put old niggas down like little feral dogs, like Old Yeller. That's what I think. Just of mice and men, just like, cause it's like, yeah, go see the rabbits. I'm tired of you. Old niggas will want huge declarations of love because they got you, like they gave you a fucking $10 ring from the thrift store. And then meanwhile there's a young nigga out there who will get you the fucking world. I'm just saying. Stop going for the old niggas. Like I'm just saying, the old niggas aren't even doing old nigga shit anymore. I had this one friend back in the day, and I don't think she likes old niggas. I think she just got her goals confused along the way. She wanted stability emotionally and financially. She went for an old dude, but she forgot that you're supposed to go after like emotionally stable, smart, financially stable old men. And she kept going for like trailer park boys type old men. And then she would be like, oh yeah, sure he's like 40, but like he's working on himself. One day he'll get the help he needs. One day. And he'll get his life together. But I'm working like 2, 3 jobs to support us right now, and it's just tough. He can't work because he's mentally ill. And I just thought to myself, girl, he has no diagnoses for whatever the fuck he's got. Also, that's still a grown man. He's had like fucking 30 years plus of experience on top of you in terms of it's a white old man. I'm gonna say it, mask off. He has had every opportunity in this life to not fuck up his life, and now he's trying to mooch off of you, a young black woman. Something about that just seems like fucking slavery. I'm gonna say it seems like slavery. Why are you signing up for that? Why are you signing up for that? It's like, what's the benefit of being with him? It's like, bitch, he's gonna go bald and his dick won't work. And it's like, what's the point? I'm just saying, if you want to do bad, you could at least get like a fine as fuck or emotionally mostly stable young fella who will still pay the bills, or at least work a job to help you out and split them. You don't have to be like, why are you this dude's caretaker, but then you're paying for the chance to be his caretaker? I'm just saying, like, fuck. I hate that shit so much. Like, yeah. So, shout out to the young niggas who ball out. I love when I meet young niggas who ball out. I love young niggas. They're great. And to the old niggas that feel entitled to young women and their attention and want to be pathetic as fuck, but then don't do, it's like, you are old. You are gonna die and your money is not following you into the grave. Help that young lady pay her way through college or get some food on the table or put some fucking diamonds on her titties. Like, it'll make you look good in the process as well as her. I'm just saying, I hate old niggas. I hate stingy old niggas. You know why you approached that young girl and you know what you've got. But some of these niggas, even if they have money, they just want the clout of like, oh, why isn't she sucking my dick? Just because just so happen to have a nice car and can afford foie gras every now and then. And because I'm old, it's like, yeah, nigga, Because a rich stingy nigga is worse than a broke stingy nigga. Because a broke stingy nigga has an excuse. What do you have? Audacity. If you are old and stingy, it's like you are like Ebenezer Scrooge to me. You are not deserving of any sort of love. You need to be visited by all sorts of ghosts that will remind you to redistribute your fucking wealth and treat people better. Because you're old and going to die soon. I'm just saying, stop trying to accuse young women who are interested in you of being gold diggers. You know that you are trying to sap their youth from their body, you crypt keeper looking motherfucker. Act right. Bye.